Here we go, everybody.
Okay.
Here's the show. This is what you get, whether you like it or not. In 3, 2, 1.
He'll be fitted with a telephone, a radio, and containers for coins, keys, and candy for cuties.
I know that you've probably been playing every day, right? Sure.
The morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream,
The morning stream. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the color-coordinated edition of TMS. Brian and I are both in red shirts today. Looks like we planned this. It's weird.
The chat room said orange, and I think it's just a problem with the cameras or the way that things come across in Twitch. This is Daredevil red. It's got Daredevil on it.
If mine's anything, it's a little more rosy and less of a red, but I don't know, the way my lighting and it just looks like we planned this is what it looks like.
It does. It totally does, yeah.
Very weird. Anyway, it's Wednesday. It's June 3rd, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett, and we're here for a show. Hi. Good morning. How are you? How was your night, Brian? How did you sleep? How'd you do?
You know what? I've slept better the last couple nights. I've been doing, here's the combo.
Right.
Chamomile tea at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Drank it down, and then or one of the tea, like one of the chamomile infusions or types of tea from Phoenix, Phoenix Pearl Tea. I'm sorry, and the important part is the and a couple Tylenol PM.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, basically it's the combo that not only knocked me out but keep me asleep until 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Now, I know we talked about this before, have you considered doing just the stuff that's in the Tylenol PM without the Tylenol part, so you're not pounding on your liver every night? You thought about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's basically like Benadryl, right? Or something?
The stuff is in Benadryl, but it's called, is it Unisom? There's something out there.
See, that's the stuff that I'm afraid of.
There's the word right there. Diphenhydramine, whatever.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Diphenhydramine.
Yeah, it sounds scary when it's in the giant, word like that. But yeah, no. That
can you just get diphenhydramine over the counter?
Yeah, I think that's what Unisom is. I think that's all that is. So you're thinking of like Ambien. Ambien's different. That's a bad thing. You don't want that. You don't want to be
Ambien.
sleepwalking.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to wake up and have bought everything on Alibaba. when
Oh, man, I hadn't even thought about that. People sleepwalk, but do they sleep shop? Oh, man.
Yes. Oh, yes. People sleep shop.
That's terrible.
So Bray Dunn 13 says Benadryl is diphenhydramine. Unisom is doxylamine.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got that confused then.
Doxylamine. I don't know what it is.
But I wonder if a couple of Benadryl would be less impactful.
I've done Benadryl. I don't do the same thing over and over.
All right. I get you. I just worry about all that.
I know.
What's it called?
It isn't good for me. And the two things individually, chamomile on its own. Never a problem falling asleep with any of this stuff.
Right.
But it's the staying asleep that's been a problem. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't get back to sleep. I finally fall asleep at about 5:30 or 6, and then I have to get up, 15 to 20 minutes later.
I hate that. That's what I've been lately, too. Okay, so here's my combo that has been working, too. Yeah. And weirdly, the last couple of nights have been great, even though you would think all this turmoil would keep me up more. But I've actually had better sleep in the last 2 nights, and here's my pattern. Here's what I do.
Tell me your pattern.
I always sleep better when I know TMS is prepped the night before. So I try to do as much of that as I can. There's some stuff I have to wait till morning.
There's a lot of it that's mental like that. Yeah.
So some of that's that. It's like, okay, that's done. I don't have to worry about it. And then the second thing I did was I started reading instead of like watching something in bed or listening to something in bed or a TV being on. I started reading, not audiobooks, but like a book in my hand reading.
An actual book in hand. Yes, and I need to do that because for a while I was doing that too, and I'm about a third of the way through Howard Stern's interview book, which is great. I mean, talk about a great a thing that makes me want to go back to doing some interviews on Coverville, because it's very insightful, and his way of interviewing is a technique I think only he can do, where he kind of unintentionally throws the person off that he's interviewing with kind of surprising questions, but then gets them to relax and answers questions as a real person, as opposed to, yeah, here are all the topics I want to make sure I hit. Here's the TV show I want to plug.
Right.
Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
He is really good at that. And it's also so weird how he can go from
Really good at.
like he can go from, hey, there's a naked porno actress in our studio right now and we're doing something really, really stupid, and then talking about stuff that's like borderline horrible. Oh, and then now I'm going to do a really meaningful interview with somebody.
Here's an incredible interview with with Barack Obama or Hillary. The Hillary Clinton interview he did a couple years back was amazing.
Yeah.
It was last year.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's such a weird dichotomy between the two.
Yeah.
So basically we have Sirius and we flip it over to his channel. If he's doing an interview, we stay on. And if he's, bring Gary in here so we can rip him up a new butthole.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, you're so dumb. Oh, okay, boss.
I mean, yeah, it does kind of go that way. I don't have Sirius anymore, so I don't ever hear it, but you're right about it.
But anyway, so his book is really good, and that I was reading it for a while, and then it's like, oh yeah, all this new HBO Max stuff. I can finally watch the rest of the season of Doctor Who that I didn't finish.
Yeah.
Or I can catch up on the finale of Legends of Tomorrow or whatever, and it's like, I'm doing it to myself. Just like Radiohead sang,
I get it.
You do it to yourself.
I totally get it. I do the same thing, and I've done the same thing for a long time. And I was reminded the last couple of nights that if I just sit and read a book, and I'm reading a book about a virus that destroys the world. So, yeah, you'd think that wouldn't help. But for whatever reason, when I read a couple of chapters, it chills me out, and I fall asleep. No problem.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm reading The Wanderers, in case anyone's asking. The Wanderers.
That's the book with the virus? Okay.
Yeah, it's like The Stand, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Similar kind of vibe to it, although it's not very Stephen King-y, but it's a good book. If you haven't read it, you might want to read it. It's very good. It's funny. Somebody just mentioned D. Kelly says, I just started the Foundation trilogy. That is also on my list of books. So I think I'm just going to get back into the book land, man. It just chills me out. It feels like I'm working a little bit different part of my brain. It's just not a screen, Well, it's a Kindle, but it's it's e-paper. So
it's not it's not the dreaded blue light.
Yeah. You ever seen e-paper? Look at it.
You ever e-paper?
So anyway, that's what I did, and I'm glad you
fixed my webcam settings. People are saying that I'm going in and out of focus. And sorry, people, that's not my camera. That's just me.
Yeah, Brian's just a fuzzy guy. That's just how he is.
I'm just a fuzzy guy.
Yeah, I don't notice. Oh no, I do sort of. Actually, you're super delayed. That's weird.
Oh really?
Whatever you changed,
Well, I haven't done anything now. Come on.
Oh, did you not do anything to your camera?
No.
You didn't even set your your focus thing or anything?
No.
That's really weird.
Just launched webcam settings, so let's see if that does anything. All right, so TMS Brio 2 is what?
That was like a 5-second lag from when you would talk and then your face would react. That was really
seriously
weird. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Really weird.
Let me turn camera off and then back on. One second.
All right, here we go. It's good podcasting, everybody.
Camera off.
Yeah.
Camera on.
Yeah.
All right. Do things match? Do the words coming out of my mouth? Okay, good.
Now you are dubbing properly. Well done.
I'm no longer on the train to Busan. Yeah. Is what you're telling me. Good.
No.
Excellent.
You are not, indeed. Okay. Hey, couple things. Yesterday, we had the boy for a brief bit because, long story short, Kim's sister is currently in the breeding world. And I don't mean her. I should specify.
Well, I hope they can find a stud.
She is in the breeding world for dogs.
Okay.
So I should have mentioned that.
Better continue to elaborate.
Yeah, I better keep going here. So anyway, she has dogs that she breeds. There, I got it. I did it. I got it, Brian. She breeds some animals.
Much better. Yes.
And she's got a brand new litter of puppies that were just born like 2 days ago to this dog, and these are puppies that these dogs sell for like $2,500 to $3,500 depending on markings and gender and stuff. The dog had 6, I want to say. I may have that wrong. Steve's listening, so probably correct me. But super cute, all's good. And they hired Taylor to do photos for the website that they run for this and all this stuff. Anyway, and by the way, save your emails on the whole breeding is terrible thing. We're not getting into it today. I don't want to get into it. I know about the ups and downs. I get it. This is not a story about that.
But they should come from a shelter.
I mean, they should probably, but that's just neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And these are, I forgot what these are called. They're a very sought after breed, and I don't remember the damn name of the breed.
They are probably from an Asian set of dogs known as the Kachings.
Yeah, the Kachings.
Or Cheching. Sorry, it's the Chechings.
Yes.
I always mispronounce that. Cheching.
Yeah, Ching. Send your emails to Brian. Okay. So anyway.
No, that was a comment on them being pricey, not a comment on.
Oh, totally. But right now, people are so hair triggery that I'm not going to send you an emails. Don't worry, you're good.
Right.
For me.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways, she got all these puppies. Taylor has to go do a photo shoot of these puppies. So as a result, the baby needs to be watched. So Van came to our house and we hung out with Van, the boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're outside. He loves it outside. Wants to play in the water and the sprinkler and then we got him a little outdoor toy thing where you just have boats and stuff. And he just loves playing in there and walking around the yard and stuff. And he loves the dogs. He wants the dogs to be around, even though he doesn't usually do much with the dogs. He just likes them to be around him, and he's sad if they're not around. So the dogs are around. They're kind of walking around or whatever. At one point, Rainer, who we adopted forever ago, my dog, back in 2015, 14, whatever it was. She doesn't have a tail because for some reason they cut that off, and they did a terrible job at it. When we got her, it was infected and stuff. It was awful. So it's this nasty little stump, but there's no real tail there. And so she's just all butthole all the time. Okay.
Right. She can't bring it down to protect herself when she's getting chased around the house or
exactly.
Any of that stuff.
There's no protection.
Yeah.
Even if she wanted to, that thing's like a thumb. It doesn't move. Her tail just kind of goes, and when she's happy, it just barely goes.
Like a little. Right. Exactly.
So, because she's full butthole all the time, she's a little exposed. And there was this moment where Van was like screwing around in the water and having fun and stuff, and then for some reason Rainer's got her back, aka butthole, aimed at the dog. He turns around
at Van.
Yeah, at Van. He looks at it, does like this karate stance where he goes oh, like this. Oh. I mean, he can't even talk yet, but he's somehow, I think his cousin does this a lot, so he's like starting to do it. And then he just karate chops her right in the corn chute, just right in the hole, just boink. And I was like, oh, I would have grabbed him. We got to clean his hand and everything. And the dog just thought the world was ending. She went flying off and hid somewhere. And yeah, the full butthole, man. It's get you in trouble with the baby.
That is, I think that is, one of the karate moves that they teach you in class is the butthole chop.
The old butthole chop. You get a whole belt for that. You get a.
That's right. Yes, you get moved up from a blue belt to a yellow belt.
Yeah.
I think
you get the brown belt for chopping the butthole. I think that's
that seems like the obvious.
Get
joke,
it? Because brown. Get it? Because it's brown.
The brown belt. Yes.
Yeah, we got it. Anyway, it was pretty good.
Started off as a white belt, but
of course, don't they always? Anyway, that was a fun time, and I just thought I would share that with everybody. We also here on the show get all the really important questions from the listeners.
Oh, yeah, good. All right, I'm preparing myself for something very deep and thoughtful and meaningful come and clear my mind. All right. Good.
Well,
okay.
this is from the very legitimate name I.C. Wiener.
Okay.
Who wrote
already?
It
the philosopher. Wait, is he named after the philosopher?
I think he might be named after the time Bart called Moe's Tavern and said this.
Right. Okay.
Anyway. He says, "Hey gents, do you prefer cheese lasagna or meat lasagna?" I think this is a great question. It's the question of our time, and I thought we could answer it here. So, Brian,
doesn't meat lasagna have cheese though?
It can, but there is a cheese-only lasagna. I did a little looking up on this, and you can make a very multi-cheese, no meat sort of lasagna thing, or you can go very heavy on the meat. But there's almost always cheese.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say cheese is it's like saying, do you like tacos with shells or without shells? It's
right.
It's like
exactly.
There's only tacos with shells. I can't think of just a lasagna that is all meat that doesn't have cheese. So I mean, I'm going to say the meat lasagna because guess what? You get both.
Yeah.
But I do like a good spinach lasagna, like a good veggie lasagna, which has a lot of cheese in it and no meat.
Those are good. Also, recommendation: you got to find the recipe. Kim knows it, but you can make lasagna without the noodles, and you do it by slicing long ways, slices of zucchini. That's it. Zucchini slice. You're exactly right. Yeah. And you can cook it in such a way that it is not only perfectly suitable as a lasagna and does not throw. It's it's like the zucchini noodles you do at Noodles and Company, same kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a really cool way of doing that. Yeah, and you get rid of all those carbs. It still tastes great. Oh, I could go for that right now, man.
Where is it too early for a zucchini lasagna?
Yeah, is it too early for a big fat slab?
Where would you go? Do you guys still have Fazoli's out there?
No, I don't think we have a Fazoli's. Do you guys have Fazoli's?
But you remember Fazoli's,
I do,
right?
Yeah,
it was like the kind of middle sort of fast food, but still had unlimited breadsticks and would still bring it to your table. You'd order at the counter. Usually took over like they did the whatever the bird is that takes over the nest of another bird.
Right.
The Spirit Halloween bird.
Right. I remember that. We got zero. Let's see. I'm checking. It says we have none in Utah anymore. I just checked.
We have one left in Arvada or the Denver metro area, as far as I know. Like, this is the only one I know of, and it's actually not too far from here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Arvada. I see it. The first one that came up. Also, there's one in. Looks like you've got one in Aurora, North Glen, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, 2 in Colorado Springs, and that's it. So you actually have 5 or 6. Sorry, 6 total.
Actually, I'm seeing 7. There's 2 in Colorado Springs. Yeah, Arvada, Aurora, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, North Glen, and Pueblo is what I'm seeing.
Oh, Pueblo. Here. I don't see that one here. Weirdly. Well, that's I put near Denver, so I don't know what that does. But.
Oh, that's probably okay. Then that's why.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Fazoli's. Maybe that's a lunch option.
0 restaurants near Salt Lake City. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
They weren't bad. Their breadsticks were really good too. I mean, it's like getting your Olive Garden breadsticks without all the other stuff that comes with Olive Garden.
Well, maybe I'll continue my slave labor attempt to get my wife to make me lasagna today.
Maybe you should do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
See if I can get her.
Channel everybody think veggie lasagna to Kim. So everybody channel.
Yep. Channel it in. Hey, also it's good that we're on last night. Still lots of protests.
Yes.
Way less looting and problematic folk.
Across the board, yeah. Same here in Denver. They
like bigger protests, way less
more
problems.
People,
yeah,
but less looting, less rioting, violence, and stuff like that, which is really good.
Makes me happy. Still a couple of ugly videos with cops hitting like people. Well, in a couple of cases, it was every night there's like some weird story about like a medical tent getting shot with rubber bullets or a freaking
right. I heard a couple college students got tased in their vehicle because they wouldn't move or something. Not tased. What was it?
Sprayed, pepper sprayed.
Maybe it was tased.
They seem to have a lot of pepper spray. Have you seen the canisters they're using? They're like they're like gallon jugs with a hose on it. Like just. I've never seen pepper spray like that. I always think of it as like a little pink bottle the size of a nothing in your purse. But no, these cops have these like canister with these like high pressure hosiery units. And
have you ever accidentally gotten pepper sprayed? Like you're at a self defense demonstration, and they bring out a thing of pepper spray and say, "Now we're just going to give you kind of a little tiny dose and to give you the idea what it's like." And
I've never have you had that in there?
I've never gotten pepper sprayed, never gotten tased. I don't think I've gotten hit with a rubber bullet, but I have done paintball. Is that similar?
I bet it hurts real good, like a paintball.
I think it hurts just like a paintball.
Actually, but what I thought rubber bullets were small, bullet-sized bullets, but I saw some photos finally, and they're not. They're like big canister-looking grenade-sized things. They're like the size of a. Okay, here's this water bottle here.
Yeah.
Half of the water bottle is about how big.
The rubber bullet is that big?
Yeah, and they fire them from like little mini cannon looking things. They're not like gun guns.
They were like the size of paintballs.
That's what I thought.
Basically,
that's what I thought. But the pepper bullets those are the size of paintballs.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's
And
Wow.
those are bad because they not only hurt, but then they get the pepper gets in your eyes and the whatnot there,
Jeez.
and the skin and the blood and the hole.
Gotta watch out for the whatnot.
The
That's
whatnot.
The worst part of it.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Those rubber bullets, they're not meant to be lethal, but they can maim you. That's for sure.
I did accidentally touch my eye once after having some blazing hot Buffalo Wild Wings.
I have done that too. Yeah.
From BW3.
Yeah, the worst eye thing I think ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. There was a time I had to put my head under the water and hold it there for a long time. What did I do? I think it was paint or something. My dad. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like 12 or 13. I think it was paint or maybe turpentine or something kind of caustic from the garage. Splashed up from whatever he was doing and got in my eye. And he rushed me in the house, like carried me in the house, held me under the sink, and just held my eye open and rinsed it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time.
I can't even. Golly, yeah, that would suck.
It did suck. You know what? You're right.
Like
it sucked.
just as bad. The solution, the cure is just as bad as the disease.
That's what I thought. I think he may have overreacted just a little bit, just a tiny bit, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I have sight because he did the right thing. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
No idea.
Wash that. Gotta wash that stuff right out of your eye.
That's right. Oh, and and I've talked about it on the show before, but I got hit with a salt gun, not assault gun. I mean,
not an assault gun.
Yeah.
But a
salt,
gun.
or a.
Is it one of those ones that they show the slow motion videos of them hitting flies, and it's the best thing ever?
No. What with flies?
Have you not seen the?
No. I want to know what this is.
Keep talking about your salt gun. I'm gonna find this video.
All right. So the salt gun was a farmer because I was cutting across his land for a shortcut to school, and he got mad and from his porch shot a salt gun. It has salt in it. It's basically like shotgun shot. Or what's that called?
Shells.
What's the stuff inside called? It's
right. The
shotgun shot.
The buckshot.
Buckshot. Oh, that was my porn name in high school. I should have known that. All right. So anyway, he would just and it hit me in the leg and it went deep and it bled and it hurt. I've never had pain like that before. It was so bad. So bad.
Wow.
All right, somebody found a video. Did you find one?
Yeah, I put one in our chat in our Discord, but there's also one in.
All right, I just want to see what's going on here.
Tab.
Okay, so my daughter would
and this is a gun you can buy. As a matter of fact, Ace Hardware sells them right by the checkout counter. You fill it with salt and you shoot flies with it. And it's like,
oh, look at that thing. Yeah. And you just put Morton salt in there and that's it?
Just put Morton salt in there, or any brand, really. Could be. It doesn't have to be Morton. But
what is
and just sends out enough of the spray. But the video of these flies going like the slow-mo video of the flies is the best part.
That's crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, Chad, I'll just put this one up. Whoops. Here. I'm not going to do any audio, but
yeah, it's loud and obnoxious.
Not playing. Here we go. So Bug Assault, Morton Salt.
Yeah, the one that AV Tech John put in the chat room is actually the best of the bunch because it's got the it is all slow-mo.
And it kills them?
I don't know. Imagine it. I don't know if it kills them, but it certainly stuns them.
Yeah, because they just lose it. They just lose it, and they just fall apart. Wow, that's something else, dude. Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I want to kind of try that now?
Bad for the flies.
We are starting to get some.
Shaggy Maha says he's got one. Oh yeah, so people say that Gray Fox and Shaggy Maha says, yeah, it kills them. It doesn't just stun them. You can set your salt rifle to stun.
Hey Kim, Father's Day is coming up. If you can. I'm excited now. I want to get me a salt gun. All right, Brian, we've done all we can do there. I think maybe it's time for us to trade in our dancing shoes for Brian Dunaway.
For trivia shoes? Sure.
Yeah, trivia shoes, I guess is what I'm saying. Let me see here. I guess I should add him to the call. I was so taken by these flies that I have mismatched my production here. Here we go. Okay. We're calling Brian Dunaway. We're going to take a call, and we're going to go for it and have some fun, do a little trivia. Hoping BD is feeling better. He was having a rough part of his early week, feeling a little low. But today, hopefully, he feels better. He's not answering his phone, though. Well, I take that back.
Oh.
I take that back. Hey, look who it is. It's Brian Dunaway from South Carolina. Hello, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Hello. How you feeling?
Hi.
You feeling better? How you doing there?
I feel fantastic.
Wow.
Not really. I feel all right.
You feel all
I'm
right.
making it
better than
Monday, though?
Yeah, better than Monday.
Yeah, much better. Oh, way better than Monday. And Tuesday was a little bit better. And today I'm making it. We're
All right.
here, man.
Okay.
We got this.
I almost thought you said I'm naked. All right.
I'm naked.
I'm
I may
naked.
be running a fever. I'm naked.
Perfect. Hey, don't go getting the Rona. We don't want you to have the Rona. All right.
Don't
Yeah,
get
neither.
the
Don't forget.
Rona.
Stay away from the Rona. All right. We got a caller on the line. Their name is not Rona. We don't know what it is because they've been so patient. Let's find out. Hi, who's this?
Hey, it's Bray Dunn in the chat room.
Hello, Bray Dunn. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Is it? So your real name's probably Braden, right? Something like that.
Sure is.
All right.
Braden Dunn.
Oh, I like
Dunn.
that. So Bray Dunn. I get it.
Oh, Braden Dunn is your actual. I got it. No, okay, cool.
Makes sense
Yeah,
now. That's pretty cool.
Why
Talk to him
why
one
the
time.
13? Were you the 13th Bray Dunn to be?
Oh no, I actually graduated high school in 13.
Oh man.
Okay, cool.
2013,
I'm a
big
younger
year.
guy.
Yeah, no, that's
Dude,
cool.
you're giving like away all your security passwords right here on the questions, right here on the
I guess I
show.
am.
What was your-
Shut up.
What was your mother's maiden name? Well, we gotcha.
What was your first pet? Okay, cool. All right. I think we've done it. We fished him completely.
Favorite
Hang it up.
teacher?
Yeah. Well, it's good
We covered
to
all the bases.
it's good to have you on, and I'm hoping you win something here. So let's see how this goes. Brian, do you want to lay out our options and tell him what he could win?
Sure will, Scott. I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, like I ever enforced that one, the win will go to the other player. Braden, your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for a couple games from Steam, Train Valley 2, and Niche, a genetics survival game. Both of them from Steam, both of them courtesy of Wesley. Thank
Nice.
you, Wesley.
Wesley.
Do you know anything about those games?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, do you?
Niche is wonderful.
Oh,
Niche
yeah.
is wonderful?
Yeah, that is good, actually. That's a very good game. So is, I think Train Valley 2 I have. I don't know if I've cracked it, though, so I couldn't say, but I'll bet it's good. It's probably good.
All right. Well, and as we did Monday, if you win, you do have the option to trade one of those games for a 4K Voodoo copy of the movie Logan, starring Hugh Jackman as Logan.
Ooh.
Just give me the code already.
Huge Jackman.
No one's going to take that. Just give me the
Huge.
code.
Just give it to you.
Yeah.
You don't
Just
already
give it
have
to
it? Come on, you've totally already got it.
Of course he
Of course,
does.
I have it. I have the big 4K
Oh yeah,
digital copy, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
no doubt.
That's a good
All right.
movie.
Did you guys see my question earlier today? I
Yeah,
said,
you're the
talk me out of it.
The Red Heat UHD.
Oh, what?
4K UHD Red Heat
Why?
Yeah, I'll talk you out of it because
Yeah.
that's
for
silly.
$4. That's like $1 per K.
Yeah.
Less
Yeah.
than $1, just under.
I don't know that I would get that. I think I would not get that. I think I would spend my $4 somewhere else. That's what I would do.
I can understand, Schwarzenegger in 4K, but Jim Belushi in 4K, isn't that like, fancy tablecloth for corn dogs?
Yeah. It's a bad idea. Don't do it, Brian. We're telling you. Don't do it. All right.
All right.
Where were we?
Well, you guys need a topic.
Oh, yeah.
So that Braden can decide who's going to go first and who's going to win. This one comes to us with a little bit of exposition from Fred Balls. I think that's how you pronounce it, B-A-L-S. He says, "Hey, Brian, fact checker Fred here. Love the show, though you Gen Xers talking about the 60s always drives me nuts.
What? We're not in the 60s. Oh, he means we're trying to talk about the 60s.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't there.
It's like a foreign country to you guys. Lots of people died at Woodstock and everyone was eating brown acid in the mud. Woodstock was a place? I thought it was a bird. And yeah, I love the Wyatt album, especially that song "While Your Guitar Makes Me Weepy."
Come on, we
We
never
don't get
did
that
that.
stuff wrong. We never get that stuff wrong.
No.
It makes me want to go punch a skunk in the testicles. I lived through the 60s. In some ways, it's still more real to me than today. In any case, you guys mentioned a Woodstock quiz, which coincidentally I'd been planning to send you. So here it is. A relatively easy one for anyone who actually remembers Woodstock, but you children of the 80s
Lord.
probably can't name anyone past blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So here it is. There were 33 performers at Woodstock.
And we're not counting the 94 one or the any
Not
of that.
counting the 94, any
No.
like the 99, 94,
Okay,
none of that.
all right.
And technically 32 bands or performers and one Swami. I'm going to ask you to name the Swami that gave the
Can we name the
invitation.
Swami anyway?
Oh, you can if
Sure,
you want.
sure.
But
Do
you're
you
not
wanna
going
name
to
the
get any
Swami?
points.
No,
No.
I don't know the Swami.
No points for you.
All right. I mean, this was a 3-day festival where the bands played well into the night. So anyway, Braden, that is the topic that the guys have. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to go first?
Let's go with Scott to win and also Scott to go first.
Ooh, look at this.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Throwing
Very
his,
nice.
throwing his money behind his words there. I don't know what that
That's
means.
right.
All right. There's some obvious ones, so I should probably take those so Dunaway doesn't get them.
I would do that.
So Jimi Hendrickson, or Hendrix,
He was-
sorry.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. You
He's
know,
out.
Jimi Hendrix.
I mean, I kind of want to just end it right there with Jimi Hendrickson.
It's just a little verbal faux pas. It was not. I know Jimi Hendrix. I said Hendrickson because I have a character in D&D named Blood Skunk Hendrickson, and I thought of him.
Oh god.
All right, yes,
That
Jimi
hurt
Hendrix,
me so
the
bad.
closer. He was the closing act. Finished up, burned his guitar.
That
Nothing
I
else
did
to
not know. I did not know he finished it.
Yeah.
That's cool to know that.
it.
Oh.
All right, Ryan Dunaway.
I'm gonna go with CCR. Creedence Clearwater
CCR.
Revival.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Good choice. They were 19th to perform, and John Fogerty's celebrating a 75th birthday this week.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to go with another piece of low hang and the fruity and go with Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
That's her. That's my
That
impression.
was my next
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
Yes, sing about her and Bobby McGee, and taken another little piece of her heart, and performed with the Cosmic Blues Band, not with Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Yeah. She was in her low 20s, but looked and sang like a cat lady.
Sure.
I loved that. All right. Go ahead, Brian.
I am going with Sha-na-na.
Sha-na-na.
And the only reason why I know that is because about a month ago, I went down a Sha-na-na rabbit hole.
Yes.
Okay.
Used to love that
Sha-na-na
show.
performed right before Jimi Hendrix. So if you left to go get another Dad's root beer during the
Right.
Sha-na-na, you might have gotten back too late to see. Excuse me while I kiss the
Look
sky.
at these chumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all
It's
see
an
that?
odd. Go ahead.
I went down to all this slick back hair guy thing, and it all started really from from watching Rambo, because I started looking at some stuff about him and looking at him and Arthur Fonzarelli were in a
Bowser
movie
and-
together. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god! I'm like, did everybody have this
Yeah.
pompadour thing going on? Then I got
think-
into the Sha-na-na thing. And I just-
It's funny. I'm having this thing with my son. He's watching. For some reason, he's watching reruns of Cheers and reruns of Taxi. You know, your
Taxi's
your
awesome.
average 20-year-old out there
Like
watching.
father, like son.
Yeah. And he keeps emailing me going, "Dude, did you know that Data was on Cheers once?" And I said, "I know, and so was Captain Janeway." No way! Like we're just having all this like can't believe people were doing things with each other. All right.
By the way,
yeah,
Shauna. Oh no, was I gonna say something about Shauna?
I don't know.
You had to
Oh yeah,
get
Bowser,
this.
the guy John Bowser,
Meow, meow.
was a game show host for a little while and was the host of Hollywood
was.
Squares.
He
Wow,
was. I
really?
remember
Or
that.
80s, yeah.
No
He
memory
was such
of
a
that.
freak.
No memory.
He had a great
Circle
profile,
gets
though.
the square. Mo, mo, mo. Bow,
Yeah,
bow,
boom,
bow.
boom, boom. He had such a great profile.
Yeah, he was great.
It's fantastic.
I'm
Like,
going.
You could show me a picture of any other guy from Sha Na Na, I wouldn't recognize it.
No idea.
But
No
you see
idea.
Bowser,
he's the
it's
only one.
like,
Yeah, he's good.
exactly. All right, go ahead.
The Grateful Dead were there.
Oh, dadgummit. That
The
was my next
Grateful Dead performed right before Creedence, as a matter of fact. Yes,
Yeah.
the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
That's why the concert was 3 days long. It was really, they could have done it in half a day.
Yeah.
But the Grateful Dead performed.
Yeah.
And
Of course. Of course.
all right.
I think I remember
Back
this
to you, Ryan.
correctly. But if I don't remember it correctly, please forgive me because CCR, for some reason in my head, nothing like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But I always get those confused in my head sometimes when I'm thinking of which music is which.
You get
But
the
I believe they
CCR confused with the CSNY.
Yeah.
I do, but I believe they were both at Woodstock, unless I'm.
Doesn't matter. Is
remember
that your
that
answer?
incorrectly.
Is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Okay.
And that is correct. Yes,
Yeah,
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young appeared
Oh.
at Woodstock, and even had a hit song with a cover of a Joni Mitchell track about Woodstock. She was not able to go. So there's a little hint for you. Don't say Joni Mitchell.
You know what? I'm really glad you said that because she was on my little list of okay.
Oh,
if I
really?
Have to do
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
darn.
me too.
Yeah,
Because I was of a certain age, and I was like,
Yeah.
that works. That
Yeah,
works.
that seems
No,
right.
she was on the Dick Cavett show, like basically had an opportunity to be on the Dick Cavett show, and took that, and because of that didn't make it to Woodstock, even though later on she'd have a song that was popular and that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young would make into a single.
All right.
There's only one more I know, and I think then I'm
Oh, really?
Scott's named everyone that he said so far. I'm like, yeah.
Well, all
He's
right.
taking
How
my
about,
good
how about
answer.
this
I only know
one?
one more.
How about this one? Back when they were a more moderate form of transportation, Jefferson Airplane was there.
Oh, nice.
They were the
I
ones
thought
who
they were
actually
later.
warned you about the brown acid. Yes, at Woodstock. That was the famous recording. Was Grace Slick saying, "Don't take the brown acid" or something like that?
I don't know. I didn't know that. That's
I didn't
crazy.
know
Yes.
that, no.
Okay. And then they sang, "We built this city." No, they didn't do that.
No.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did
So
not
that's
do
what
that.
I was thinking. They were way too late for that, but I guess not.
Nope. When they were Airplane, and they were a
Airplane.
good band, by the way, back then.
I don't
Yeah.
think of them in that time period.
They were still good as Jefferson Starship. It was just when they lost the Jefferson that things started to go awry.
Yeah, when it became
you would think it'd be the
Starship.
Starship, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's the
All right.
worst song. All right.
All right,
Dunaway.
and now I'm gonna lay down my last card.
Okay.
Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker. What would you do if I... Yes, indeed. Joe Cocker and the Grease Band performed right after Jefferson Airplane, as a matter of fact. And
See, everyone that I've named so far is kind of like in this wheelhouse of bands that I remember from that time frame, and I wasn't even alive then, but it's like I relate all of them to it.
yeah.
All
no,
right. Well, then, if that's all you had, I do have one more.
Let's see if you got it.
The Who.
The Who,
Really?
indeed. Yes, The Who performed right before Jefferson Airplane. So interesting. Interesting that you kind of sandwiched Jefferson Airplane with The Who and Joe Cocker.
Is that
There's been
really
a couple that Scott's mentioned that I thought was after.
later? No, they
started
still had
reaching there.
good careers later, like some stuff in the 70s.
Yeah.
But that's the
yeah.
reason I'm
No,
mentioning them,
this-
because I don't know. I don't know
Right.
much of like the ones that were really hot in the 60s, but no one's heard of now. Like I don't know who those people are. So wait a minute. So Brian, do you have?
I still get one more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you?
I still get to
Some
throw
guesses?
like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
wild swing into the air.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
for
I
it.
still get that.
Oh, throw a wild swing out.
Go
Yes.
for it.
Aerosmith. Yeah. Really young Aerosmith.
Pre-Toys in the Attic Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Oh.
Incorrect, sir. That means.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Can I ask? Can I have one? I want to say one more that I think is right.
Sure, you can.
And
you can say
and
one
this
more.
is literally bottom of the barrel for me because I know nothing else. But I'm pretty sure that I read somewhere when I was listening to them recently that Sly and the Family Stone were there.
They totally were. They
Okay.
performed right before the Who.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So
That's the only other one I know. That's
here are all the
it.
other ones you
that.
could have named. So Swami Satchidananda gave
I
the
just call him
invocation.
Swami.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Then Sweetwater, who I believe was the inspiration for the band in Almost Famous. I think I might be
Right.
wrong on that.
Right.
Bert
That's what Tom
Sommer,
Hanks, right?
Tim Hardin, Ravi Shankar, Melanie, Arlo Guthrie, Joan Baez, Quill, who? Country
Who?
Joe McDonald, Santana,
Oh,
John-
really, Santana?
John Sebastian, whose biggest hit was the theme to Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah, but
No,
Santana.
he had a
of
bunch of hits with Badfinger.
I can't believe neither of us thought of Santana. That's a easy
Santana,
one.
I
I
know.
can't either. That was a
Keith Hartley Band, The Incredible String Band, Canned Heat, Mountain, no. Country Joe and the Fish, 10 Years After, The Band, Johnny Winter, and the Paul Butterfield, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and the Paul Butterfield Blues Band are the other ones you could.
Yeah,
That's
most
right. I'm sorry,
of
John
those.
Sebastian, Loving Spoonful, not Badfinger.
All right. I can't
Peter
believe
Ham was Badfinger.
Peter Ham.
Peter Ham.
Can't
Peter
find a
Prestham.
Peter Ham. All right, well done. We
it's
did
good
it.
because I've seen plenty enough documentaries about Woodstock and kind of went through some of the a lot of these bands went on to make movie music from that period
Oh yeah.
later on.
Yeah,
So
like,
I mean,
you get what you can
it
get.
wasn't
You know.
too terribly bad, but yeah, the 60s, man. It's lucky to get the way I did.
You guys did a lot better than I think I or Fred Balls expected. He thought that one of you guys would name Bob Dylan and be immediately out because Bob Dylan seems like a gimme for that, right?
Yeah, I just feel
Yeah.
like I would have heard it before. You know, there would have been a bigger
Yeah.
deal to know he was there. But
It
but
was
yeah,
almost done, one and done with that Jimi Hendrixon's.
Jimi Hendrixon. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's what Leo Laporte calls him.
Oh yeah,
Jimi Hendrixon.
Brian Ibbotson. Well done. Hey, look at this.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That means you've won, and that means you get those prizes. Tell me, how do you feel, Braden? Do you feel good, bad, middle? How do you feel?
Hey, I feel great. I mean, the Rona's got me working at home. I usually don't get to listen live,
Nice.
so just type in the script at home. Glad
This-
to be on the show.
This is fantastic. All right, well, good. We're glad to have you on. Here's all you got to do. Send Brian an email, coverville@gmail.com.
Yes.
He'll send you your codes, and you, sir, are the winner. Congratulations.
That's right. And you can tell me if you'd rather have Logan instead of one of those games.
Yeah. So Dunaway.
Courtesy of Aunt Felicie.
How are you? Oh, we're doing Zapped this weekend, you guys. Zapped.
Yes.
Yeah, 1982's Scott Baio classic, Zapped. What's the other guy's name? I always
Zapped.
forget his name.
Uh,
The other guy in the movie?
yes, Willie Ames.
Willie Ames.
Willie Ames, that's it.
Willie Ames.
Yeah, so we're going to
And
do...
Willie misses.
This was childhood forbidden fruit for me. My parents would not let me watch Zapped, so I think
And probably for the wrong reasons.
Right.
The reason they probably should have kept you from watching this because it's hot garbage.
Yeah.
From what I don't think any of the four of us have ever seen it, have we?
No.
Oh, absolutely, I've seen it.
Oh.
It's
You
one of my
probably have
favorite.
you have the Blu-ray edition with the director commentary.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite projectile vomiting scenes in any movie ever.
Really? We're going to get that? Sweet.
We're gonna get that. It is awesome. Now, I haven't watched this movie in years, and it was forbidden fruit for me as well, mainly because the poster art.
Yeah, that was
and,
it. That was it
Yeah.
for my
Most
mom.
of the stuff was. I think they showed like a woman getting her dress blown up or something like that. So with him trying to zap her dress. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's why we came.
And we're gonna watch this with the knowledge that it's possible that our watching of it might net Scott Baio a few extra cents, maybe 10 cents or something.
Oh shoot, yeah. Good point.
We don't really like he's kind of an a-hole, but I think it bears watching. Brian was right to stick it in. We're sticking it in. We're putting it in.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
put it in. By the way, if you didn't already know who Scott Baio was, I mean.
Yeah, what are you even doing?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's never been quiet about what he thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, what are
We
you even
also
doing?
got notification over Twitter today that Goonies is streaming on HBO Max.
Whoa.
Oh, now that, my
And
friend,
the
is
first thing I
interesting.
did was go back to our film sack list and make sure we hadn't done it because I felt like we had, but we totally
We
hadn't.
tried a couple of times.
Absolutely
We definitely
not.
tried, and it went away, and it came back, and it went away. But I would be
I
very
am
happy
actually
to see that.
scared.
What, to watch
zap
Goonies? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I loved Goonies as a kid. I
don't know if I can watch Goonies and be
say
critical.
kid. I was probably 14. I don't know when that came out. When did that come out? 84, 85? That's probably 14,
something right
15.
around there, yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll do that. I'm all down. I'm down to clown. with the Goonies. All right, Dunaway, it's a pleasure, and I hope you have a continued good week and that you feel way better, dude.
Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right, we are a little short on time, but before we take our break, Brian, tell us what's happening on Coverville today.
Well, it's kind of funny you say that. And the plan was to do a John Fogerty Creedence Clearwater Revival episode. It may still happen today. Stuff went haywire yesterday, with a couple freelance clients, 2 of which are reopening this week after being closed for the last 3 months, and so needed some kind of emergency work done on their websites. So it might not happen till next week, but it'll be a John Fogerty cover story for his 75th birthday. So it might get pushed out a week.
Look at him hitting 75. That's awesome.
I know.
Very
yes.
cool. All right.
To him, it's just another Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I guess it's almost Saturday night. Dang it.
Yeah,
I got
see?
the wrong song. Yeah.
Not ready for that Coverville. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's a fortunate son. What can we say?
There you go. You nailed it. Put him in, coach. He's ready to play. All right.
That's right. Very good.
Not the best song he ever did. All right. Let's now do, what are we doing now? Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Tom. We're going to do a little tech time in the morning. We're also going to talk to Nicole and do recommendals. Did she reply to you? I assume she
did. She's in.
Okay.
She gave me the same yep that she's given me for the last 3 weeks when I message her on Wednesday morning saying, hey, you...
Many Bothans died to bring you this information. This is the Morning Stream.
We're back, everybody. That a really, speaking of like 60s and 70s, that was some classic ass sounding like, I don't know, like I get a little Foreigner vibe out
guitar.
of that. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
So good.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
576 bells per turnip on my island if people want to come.
Oh, dang, dude. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
no
That's
kidding.
pretty good. It's better than that yesterday one.
It is better than the one yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know, though,
All
right?
right. I guess while Tom is talking, I'm going to be listening to Tom and opening up my island and posting
I have a feeling
a code.
Tom might head over there and sell his turnips. I don't know. He might do that while he's on the air.
I would hope so. Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. All right, let's get him in here and see what's up with our good pal, Tom Merritt. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Right here.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
The man, the legend, the myth. It's Tom Merritt, everybody, joining us right now. Hi, Tom.
Man, I'm more and more uncomfortable being known as the man these days.
All right, I'll call you the myth. You're the myth.
It has gone from you're the man to like fight back against the man.
That's right. That's right. Nobody wants to be the man. I don't want to be the man.
Maybe that's not so good.
No.
Depends on what you mean.
Yeah. I want to be a man. So I am a man, not the man.
Tell me.
Yeah, tell me more. Hey, so Tom, while you're, you should give Tom a code, Brian, before we open.
I'm giving him. Oh yeah, I'll text it to Tom.
Yeah, if you got turnips, Tom, we will hook you up.
Turnips, you say?
Brian's got an amazing deal on his island right now. So
I just sold my turnips yesterday.
Oh no!
Hope you got a good deal.
Yeah.
No, I'm horrible at the turnip game because what happens is it gets far enough above in my own island that I'm like, I don't want to mess with going to somebody's island. I don't want to have to check this thing every day anymore. I'm just gonna sell.
Yeah, I understand that. I totally
do. So this
do.
morning I got up and I didn't have to worry about my turnip prices because they were already sold.
Yeah.
But also I'm bell poor because of that.
Yeah, you got the bell poorness. I thought I wasn't going to care about turnips, but now I feel like I've gone all in on them in a way that's actually.
I feel like once you pay off your house.
Yeah.
And welcome to Animal Crossing talk, folks. But once you pay off the house in Animal Crossing, then the turnip game becomes more appealing because it's like, I'm looking around for some more things, more excitement. Yeah.
Yeah. There's an end game to it, but I don't know. Your mileage may vary. I'll tell you what won't vary though is our adherence to wanting to talk about the technology news of the day, even in crazy weeks like this. That's what Tom's here for. Tom, what are we discussing today? What's going on?
One of the things we'll be discussing on DTNS today is that Zoom thinks that if you're not paying them, you don't deserve as much encryption.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, they're gonna. If you're a freebie user,
you
get no encryption, If you pay Pro,
no,
you get encryption, right? No,
that's not true.
Oh.
That is not true.
Oh, good. Let's dispel
if
this.
you are a free user, you don't get end-to-end encryption. And the context for this that's important is Zoom was saying they had end-to-end encryption, but didn't. And that was a big story about a month ago or so, where they were saying it was end-to-end encryption, but in actuality, there were endpoints, especially with video calls, that could allow Zoom to look at the call, right?
Okay.
And that's, if you're like, wait a minute, Zoom look at your call. It's not like they were sitting there looking at all the calls. It was that if they stored the keys, basically, is what it was. And so it was technically end-to-end encrypted, except for the fact that they had the keys to the encryption. And so the fear was if law enforcement came along and said, hey, we want to look at that person's Zoom call, then Zoom, without telling you, could hand the key to law enforcement because they had it. This is different than what you normally have in end-to-end encryption, like with WhatsApp, where they don't have the key. The key is stored locally on your device. And if they say, hey, give us the key to the encryption, WhatsApp can be like, I don't have it. There's no way I can give it to you. It doesn't exist for me. So that's what that's what Zoom has now. And what they're doing is implementing actual end-to-end encryption. And what they're saying is, but we will only do that for paying customers. The existing customers will not have that. It's unclear to me whether they're just going to leave the current encryption system in place or whether there is some change to the encryption for free users. And there will be encryption for free users, so you're not open out on the internet for anybody to spy on you, but it won't be as strong. And I think what got people all upset was that Zoom's CEO Eric Yuan said that the company wants to work together with the FBI, with local law enforcement. In some cases, some people use Zoom for a bad purpose. And so that made it sound like those free users are all criminals. We all know it. So we're not going to afford them the best protection. And certainly criminals would never pay for Zoom. That's, those are sort of the implications that people took objection to.
Right. I was looking back at something I couldn't remember for sure, so I wanted to look it up. But back in 2018, Skype started offering end-to-end encryption in conversations, but it looks like it's a thing you still have to enable. So I think
you have to turn it on.
Yeah, you got to turn it on. So by default, it's not on. I think that kind of comparison is important, just because Zoom is easy to demify right now because they are huge at the moment and are having incredible growth because of reasons. And so there's a lot of scrutiny, rightly so. People should look at these things and check into them. But I think it's also important for people to know that all your other options may not be giving you the kind of security you're hoping or expecting from Zoom. And again, mileage may vary. I don't know, like Discord, I don't even know if that stuff's encrypted. I have no idea. I've never looked. So maybe today's a good day. Educate yourself and find out just how protected is your video conferencing.
Because most of these systems aren't end-to-end encrypted. The only reason there's pressure on Zoom for this is, like you said, it had crazy growth and suddenly a lot of eyes were on it.
Yeah. Looks like, to answer that question I sort of hypothetically asked, encryption is not current. End-to-end encryption is currently not available in Discord, but a much asked for feature. So
a lot of companies have not enabled end-to-end encryption on their messaging or video or voice calling because it decreases performance.
Right.
It's harder to do. It's not hard to do, but it's hard to do and maintain the level of performance. So a lot of times people look at user complaints about dropped calls and this didn't work, and then look at, here's all the work that we have to do to implement encryption, and if we do it, we're probably going to see an increase in those complaints, and they back off. They shy away and say, that sounds hard. Do we really need to do it? And the thing is, if you put in the work and you do it right, you still can have perfectly high performance. Signal is a great example of that. WhatsApp is a great example of that. Sure. You can do it. It's something that isn't like flipping a switch. You can't just turn it on.
Right. And audio and video performance obviously are more critical than, say, something like, well, I'm speaking from the perspective of a podcaster who needs good video services. So I'm a little biased in that direction, but that'll improve with time. Codecs get better. Bandwidth gets better, technology behind it all gets better. Like,
You're adding another step in the process. And whenever you add another step in the process, there's more chance for things to go awry that you have to guard against, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that and so much more to discuss today on the Daily Tech News Show, which I'm very much looking forward to. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you go back and listen to Tuesday's show, which was very different than anything you've ever heard.
Actually, Monday.
Was it Monday? I'm sorry, Monday show.
Yeah,
because I reposted it on Tuesday. Dude, days are jacked up. I don't know what is up or down.
They totally are.
It was incredible, and people should listen to it. Tom, anything else we should mention or talk about before you go today?
No. DailyTechNewsShow.com. Come listen to Scott and I talk. And like I said, go listen to Monday and Tuesday's episode. We had Chris Ashley on the show yesterday. It was a good time.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Plus, today will be fun, so check it out. Wednesday rocks. We'll see you soon, Tom. Thanks.
See
you, Tom.
Ace Detect on Twitter, I should have mentioned. You can follow him on Twitter. He's a good tweet, that guy.
He's good for a LARF or an insightful 280 characters. You know,
I like the word LARF. No one uses that enough.
He's good for LARF.
Yeah. Let's put that back in fashion. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. Nicole incoming.
Yeah, I heard something about end-to-end encryption on my island, something like that, on my turnips.
Yeah, something like that. End-to-end encryption, sure. something about that, yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I'm guaranteed that none of us going to each other's islands is an end-to-end encryption experience. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
In fact, that yesterday.
Those dodos don't know anything about two-factor authentication.
And yesterday was like 100 retries before I finally got into that island. It was so nightmarish.
Oh,
and then by the time I got there, like I sold to my little dudes, and then someone flew in and it stopped the sale. And then when they landed, I ended up back at the airport with all my turnips
with all your turnips back in your pocket. That happened to me too.
That was rough. All right, I'll tell you what isn't rough. This. Welcome to the program, one Nicole Spagnolo. She is calling in all the way from Colorado, just like Brian is. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. We can hear you.
We
all
can
that
totally
stuff.
hear you. Yeah. No need to yell Mark now. It's fine.
I got a screaming 4-year-old. It's just.
Oh man, she all right? What can I do? Let me tell.
Just being 4.
Yeah,
but she's 4.
4's hard, man. Four's
I hate 4.
4. Everyone says terrible 2s. I remember 4 being pretty hard. Yeah,
no.
2s were fun actually.
4.
I enjoyed the 2s.
4 for both of my kids is rough. I mean,
what's the word for it though? So if it's terrible 2s is easy because it's alliterative, right? How do we do it with 4s? The
fearsome 4s.
That's not bad.
For teenage. How do you merge teenager with 4? Four-nager?
Four-nager. The four-nagers.
The forager.
Yeah, the foragers. It's the forager stage. I like it. Well, anyway,
so the effing 4 is a lot of people in the chat room. All
yeah. Now that they've said it, it makes perfect sense. Anyway, well, I'm glad you're here. We're going to do recommendals, talk about stuff we've seen on streaming services, and recommend them to people who are listening to the show. Let's start with Brian's clip. Do you have any setup here?
No. I'll just say it's a movie, and that's all I'm going to say. That's that's all of it. Yeah.
No. Okay. I like that. Here's a movie. Here's a movie, guys. Here you go.
Yes.
Please tell me it isn't true. Yes. Do you know the history of that painting? Do you know that it was his last painting because he died in an explosion, stupid accident? And somehow, miracle after miracle, it survives through centuries. Until you.
Hobie, I never meant... I didn't know what it was at first. I was just trying to keep it safe.
It wasn't yours to keep!
Tell me, is that... that's Jeffrey Wright, is it?
That is 100% Jeffrey Wright.
I don't know what that is then.
Jeffrey Wright, you heard Ansel Elgort as well there. One person in the chat room got it. KT Data, actually Soko Fab Lab got it as well. The Gold Finch is what that is. And it's based on the Pulitzer Prize winning novel by Donna Tartt. This was like the thing everybody was reading in 2013. Like everybody was, you got to read the Gold Finch, got to read the Gold Finch. The movie is good. I never read it. Tina did read it and she loved the book. She really liked the movie.
Where's it streaming? Yeah.
It is streaming on...
Where's it streaming?
It is streaming. I'll answer your question if you let me finish.
I'm sorry.
It is streaming on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Wait, so is it all about a fish? Is it about a fish?
It's not about. It's called Gold Finch.
Sorry, not a fish. Finch. I meant finch. Sorry, not a goldfish.
That's a fish, right?
It's all about a fish. Oh Lord. It's about birders or something. Birding or.
It is about a painting, and you hear them talking about the painting. The painting is the Gold Finches by a famous painter whose name I can't remember, but Rembrandt. Basically, it starts off with a little kid whose mom is killed, who's in a bombing at a museum. The two of them are in a bombing at a museum. The mom dies. The kid survives, and he takes a painting from the museum for reasons that become clear quarter of the way, halfway through the movie.
All right.
And it's all about this kid trying to find his family, trying to protect this painting because it's his only connection to his mother, and kind of the path that he takes from becoming a little 13-year-old to Ansel Elgort halfway through the film. This has got Finn Wolfhard in it. It's got Sarah Paulson, Luke Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Jeffrey Wright.
Wait, is the Wolfhard kid? He's all post-puberty Wolfhard, right?
He's post-puberty Wolfhard, which sounds like the worst thing you could possibly say.
Yeah.
But he plays a little Russian kid in the neighborhood that Theo moves into.
Oh, interesting. Does he do a good job with the voice and stuff? Does it
He does an okay job. It sounds a little bit like my Russian accent.
Oh.
It's a little bit too much hassle.
Okay.
But it's really, really good. I'm gonna strip one of those release. It's really good. I wouldn't necessarily say it's really, really good, but it's really good. Tina read the book and she loved it. So I think if you've read the book, this fills in the visuals that came with that book. It was 2.5 hours, and there were a couple times when it felt like it was 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I really did enjoy it. And like I said, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. It's called.
So it's just
Gold
about
Finch.
a painting.
It's about. I mean, the name comes from a painting. It's about this boy's journey, really.
Okay.
It's a young man's journey. Yeah.
A young man's journey from Milan to Minsk. Sorry, okay, not by Rembrandt, but by one of Rembrandt's students. Yeah, the Gold Finch. It's more like what was that movie with? Was it Brad Pitt, the Mexican?
Oh,
the
the
movie's
Mexican.
really not about a gun.
Right.
It's about the journey that this couple takes to get the gun.
Right.
It's the same with the Gold Finch.
Okay, I get that. It's a little Pulp Fiction not really being about the briefcase with the light in it, sort of.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes. That's
okay.
The Gold Finch is almost a MacGuffin.
Okay. Interesting.
But,
well, I love Jeffrey Wright. You basically had me at him, so.
And he's one of the most prominent secondary characters to the main character in this, second to Ansel Elgort. So
he's awesome. I love that guy. Does what's her name? Nicole Kidman, does her face move when she talks, or does she just
nope. This is post plastic face Nicole Kidman.
All right.
I was specifically watching that. It's funny you bring that up, but like I was noticing that her upper lip doesn't move at all when she talks now.
Yeah, it's stuck there. It ain't moving.
Yeah.
I think she needs to go back and get a redo on that deal.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, whatever. Look, do what you got to do. It's fine, but it's just hard to emote. You know, you're trying to act.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard. I need you to be more rubbery out there. All right. Hey, let's do mine now. This is a clip that I made, and I've already I told Brian what it was earlier in the week, but I'm still recommending it. So
okay.
This is, and I will preface this by saying it's on Netflix, and I do not recommend this for everyone. Here you go.
The disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
Did he kill himself? Was he killed?
There was something happening here that was bigger than just Jeffrey Epstein.
He was known as this Gatsby-like figure of mystery.
He was stunningly rich. He had a $20 million house, his own private island in the Caribbean.
He has a nickname, the Pedophile Island.
All right.
Oh, geez.
Probably obvious why this isn't for everyone.
So gross.
Yeah, I'm guessing that this is got some pretty deep, dark stuff that it delves into.
And I read that he stole his money from like
this
guy.
Yeah, there's a whole thing in there about where his money came from, and none of it's clean. He's super gross, obviously. The name of the documentary is Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich, and it is more. It's not super sensationalistic, and it doesn't even really focus on his death and whether it's there's a little bit of that, but it's not really about that. It's mostly about his victims and them getting to have a voice come forward, being able to tell the world what he did. It goes through the court case stuff that was like sort of up and down, the sweet deal he got from the Miami district attorney at the time, who then went on to be in the U.S. government, who then resigned because of this. Anyway, they go through all that stuff. It's 4 parts, and I think it's very well done. They interview a lot of people, some of whom have very dubious relationships with the man. They talk about, Prince Philip and his stuff, and there's
that weird connection there.
No way in hell that guy did not do what that girl says he did. I guarantee he did it. And I'm pretty sure. Rainbow Bright says Scott never recommends anything anyone would ever watch. That's not true. This thing is this thing is in Amazon's, or sorry, this is in Netflix's top 5 right now. Like there are tons of people watching it. So I don't think that counts.
Prince Andrew.
Or Andrew, not Philip. Sorry.
Andrew, yes.
Sorry, not Philip. Philip. I keep saying Philip. It's very well made. It's 4 episodes. I think it's a great look at victims and the plight they run into when it comes to people of power with money. I think there's some incredibly brave women in this documentary. I really liked it, and think that if you want, it's, again, we're living in not the most positive time in the world, so it's not like this is going to be a bright light of fresh, hot, summer air for you. But it's still something to see if you want to. You want to better understand the story, understand the breadth of his crimes, and the effect it had on these people. I think it was great. I really enjoyed it.
I was reading an interview by the guy who made this documentary, and he was saying how, I guess, a bunch of people reached out to him before they've even seen it to like tell him not to release it, like famous people.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
It was very surprising.
Kind of
like it was very surprising. Like the people that were trying to like tell him, because they don't know if they're in it or not. Right?
Yeah, because there's this giant list, and like what's interesting is in the last couple of weeks, Anonymous is back in the news. And they found a hacked version of his list, basically his black book. And there are some names in there that you didn't know were in there.
In it?
Yeah, there is a ton of names.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And a lot of these people I would say most of those people maybe went to his island or went to his parties or they're part of the big hobnobbing around with other famous rich people. We're not saying they're all pedophiles or they're all part of this trafficking ring. But there are some on that list, I freaking guarantee it. And there are a couple that are in some huge positions of power in this country. I'm not going to get into names here because you all know what they are. And I'm convinced at the end of this thing, they kind of go through some of the evidence of after he killed himself, quote unquote. But having the cameras die and the film go missing and the freaking guards just happen to that one time not be watching him. Plus stuff in his neck broke that doesn't break when you do a hanging. Anyway, these are all morbid things, but there's no way that dude killed himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not conspiratorial. I'm the least conspiratorial person on this planet. That dude did not kill himself. I am 100% sure because the names in that book, whoo! They had the wherewithal to do whatever they needed to do. Or it's one of two things. It's that, or column B is he had enough money and influence to make all of those factors happen so he could kill himself and get away with it. That's entirely possible. I could go that way. But rough thing all around.
It's bananas.
It's super bananas. And I hope, I'm not really into sort of anarchy, and I'm not really into like, hey, let's just tear all vestiges of power down or whatever. But if Anonymous has the goods that they say they have on a certain handful of these people that are implicated, I really hope it comes to light. I really do. Because
Yeah,
they
no,
deserve
maybe
to
sit
go
on
down
until
for
October.
this. No, they need to hold on. They need to do it. I mean, you've got a valid point, but I just hope that if they have the goods, they deliver them. That stuff deserves sunlight. What they did was terrible. Terrible what he did. Oh my gosh. It's a good documentary, you guys. Netflix, find it. It's trending. And if it's not your thing, or if if you're feeling like you might be triggered by some of the victimization stuff in there, I totally get that. Like, if you are somebody who has gone through this is going to be a rough watch.
I think when I see stuff like that, I go, how did this happen? Like, why did this happen?
Money.
And when
power.
when you see that stuff, you feel very powerless in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It does shed light on the larger problem, right? Which is that money and influence and power are they're potent drugs, and people those power structures are still in place. In this particular case, it does shed a lot of light on how he in particular, and that woman he trailed around with all the time that was enabling all of this.
Is she getting charged?
She fled. She's in like I forgot what that documentary said. She's somewhere in some place in France, and no one knows how to get to her. So she took off. She always maintained her innocence, but dude, not after I heard what these girls said. There's no way that she's innocent. But anyway, there is some power in seeing it and seeing that there is some justice being done. He pulled some of that justice away by ending his life or having it ended. But nonetheless, I think that part of it is important. And then you can learn, like if you're thinking to yourself, how is it possible that happened for all that time that he could do this? You learn how it's possible. And it's not that crazy. Like it was basically just gobs of money and gobs of influence and gobs of promises and girls in vulnerable, awful positions. And it's just the most predatory a-hole I've read about or seen anything about in many, many, many years. Like he was terrible, that guy. Anyway, Nicole, on to you. I'll bet you have something more fun to watch. What do
Maybe
you got?
something a little more cheerful.
Yeah.
I do. You know me.
Yes, we can always rely on you for the happy stuff.
That's right.
I don't know if you can get it on a streaming service. You might be able to, but I actually bought the movie. So
well, at the
and
very least, you can buy it and stream it that
and-
way, I guess, or
Yep.
whatever.
And I totally missed it when it came out. We were looking forward to it, and I guess 2019 was a blur. So here's my clip. Great
All right.
family.
Not looking.
All right, I'm hitting play here. Hold on. There we go.
Asked. That's great. Good job. Keep it up. Bye.
I recognize that voice.
Steven, what took so
Oh,
long?
yeah.
The Diamonds, they really want me to move in.
Why?
Because they want to smother me with attention 24/7.
Sounds fun.
No, it doesn't.
All right, that's got to be one. I don't know. That sounds like a teenage Steven Universe. Maybe I never watched
He's
it all.
16.
Oh, weird. Is
This is Steven Universe the movie.
Oh.
I missed it. I don't know how I missed it because we were looking forward to it because we watched all of Steven Universe the show, and I guess they released this in 2019. I don't know if you can get it on Cartoon Network's app. But I just bought it on Amazon Prime. You can also rent it for like $3.
It might be on HBO Max because they have all that Cartoon Network stuff. I wonder. I'll look right now while you're talking.
I know it's on this Fubo TV.
Mm-hmm.
Fubo, you can get a 7-day free trial, but then it's like $55 a month.
Yeah, Fubo's weird. Fubo's not my jam. Yeah, you get all kinds of like HD original. Or I don't know even what it is. I don't know how it works.
There's like a DVR, free DVR, 30 hours of that, and live TV, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, Steven Universe the series is in full on HBO Max. The movie
I've never
appears
seen
not
a
to be.
single episode of Steven Universe.
Oh, it's very good. It's so good.
I love it.
I've heard good things. I don't know why I haven't checked it out.
It's very
well, I do because I've got a long list of other things to check out.
It's very good, and they made there's a game. I think it's on Apple Arcade. It's also on Switch.
I remember you recommending the game. Yeah,
the game's very good.
App slapping the game.
Yeah.
Well, and now there's also Steven Universe Future, which is now Steven as a teenager. He's 16. Okay. So there's Steven Universe, the first part of the story where he's younger and he's learning about his gem powers because he's half human, he's half gem. And with the TV show, you're kind of going through his journey of discovering who he is and the relationships and the gems and all of that stuff. And then the movie kind of takes all that and introduces a bad guy, and it's a musical, so you're warned. Okay. I love musicals.
I have no problem with musicals.
My husband hates musicals, and so we're all watching this. He goes, "Mateo, did you know there's going to be singing?" He goes, "I don't mind." And I was like, "Yeah, Mateo."
Man, this thing's got so many episodes. By the way, there's a ton to binge in here.
It's so many.
Yeah.
This is, if you've watched the new She-Ra, you can definitely see that they're tied, like the same.
Well, I think the director or the showrunner for the She-Ra reboot was on this in some or way. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know all the details.
Yeah.
But I love the new She-Ra too. We watched that as well. I love the movie. It has a lot of positive messages for kids in it. It's about you can change, you can help people even when it seems like everything's awful.
Yeah.
And
how does it look? Does it look cool? Does it look cool? Like animated well? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes I
love it when they call them movies. It's just the show, and it's an hour and a half.
That was my question, because sometimes the movies, they go a little further with the animation. They spend a little more. They get a little more budget or whatever. But if it's just like the show, that's okay too, because it's already cool. So it's fine.
Yeah. I love the songs in it. There's one song called "Here We Are in the Future" that's really good. It was very fun, catchy. I enjoyed it. I loved it. So, nice. And it actually made me happy to see the kids getting into it, because there's a lot of positive messages in there too.
Yeah, that's a bona fide hit, that show. It's beloved. Brian, you should watch it. It's very good.
I will totally check it out. Yeah.
Good call.
And I didn't realize the Steven Universe Future is out there now. So we got a whole new show to watch.
Yeah, there's a whole, and that's I'm sorry, Steven Universe the movie is on. Nope, I take it back. It's not on HBO Max yet. It probably will be eventually. All right. Great recommend.
I think it might be on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For the movie, maybe they're playing it. That'd be cool. But the show is definitely on there. Nicole, always I called you a Cole. That's weird. Nicole. That was really weird. You keep track of all these and you put them up on your Twitter account. So that's a great place to go check that out. That's over at Nicole Spag. And she's also just a good follow, good person, good stuff, good things being said. So go do that.
Maybe. Sometimes I don't tweet a lot.
Well, look.
I try to listen more than I tweet.
It's been a rough week for a whole lot of people. And people are having a whole lot rougher one than we are. So I guess we'll be glad that we're all here together. Yep. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time. Bye now. All right, Brian.
Yes. All right, Scott.
We've come to that point of the show. We have a theory from Dean I need to read.
A theory? I don't believe in the theory.
Yeah, me neither. Well, until I heard from Dean. Now I'm a believer. Dean says this: "Dear Scott, I can only speculate, but maybe this mysterious John fellow that is taking umbrage with your plan to have your ashes baked into brownies and fed to old people, maybe this is a person who is venting his impotent rage on a complete stranger. Who knows?"
Oh, that's right. I forgot about your cremation. Turn me into brownies and feed me to the residents of a nursing home.
Yeah, maybe that's why he thinks I'm scaring old people.
Oh, that's really funny.
I don't know. Hadn't considered it. So thank you, Dean. I appreciate it. I assume he's one of the handsome brothers from Supernatural when I see his name.
He absolutely is, yes. No, he's Dean Cain, clearly.
Yeah. Oh, Dean Cain.
Yes, right. He's future sport star Dean Cain.
Yeah, also kind of a jerk these days, turns out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not quite the Superman we all had hoped for. That guy. Anyway, hey, well, there you have it. Thanks for being here, everybody. Patreon.com/TMS is how you support the show. If you want a bonus weekly show, well, guess what? Good news. Friday we do one, and we do it only for patrons. That's the TMS PM episode. There's that and so many more benefits to joining up. If you haven't already, consider it. If you have already, we love you already. You know that. Patreon.com/TMS. For all other things, frogpants.com/TMS is the place to go. We will now exit with a song. What do you have?
Well, I have epilepsy from my Animal Crossing screen over here on the left side of me, constantly bloop, blinking out. Somebody's coming to your island. Bloop, somebody's leaving. Bloop, somebody's coming to your island. Bloop.
Yeah, this is what you get. You probably have 8 in there at all times, right? That's
probably. Yeah. I'm not looking, but there is a line of people. I parked a little lawn chair outside of Nook's Cranny, and I'm just kind of sitting there watching people come and go.
That's awesome.
I probably should have set up a queue. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, Jessica S, aka Princess Dagger 17 in the tadpole, wrote and said hello.